Hey, what's up, guys? This is Coach Ben, and I'm here with the BuildMySportsBiz.com podcast. And today we're going to get straight into it. So, one of the things that I've seen a lot over the last, I would say especially the last month, as we have kind of shifted gears and started to help more coaches in other sports, I've started to see a lot of the same recurring questions. And no matter if you are a first-time listener here or if you have listened to this podcast for a while, I feel like this message is going to be very important for you. And if I was you, I would invest your time right now. Make sure you not only listen to what I'm going to cover, but actually apply this, right? I see people who are listeners to this podcast. They ask the same sort of questions all the time, and I address these problems, these questions in all of our podcasts. I have nothing to hide here, and it's just kind of funny to me that some people ask the same sort of questions, but they don't make changes, right? So today's podcast is all about actually applying the information, because what I'm about to show you here can be worth hundreds and thousands of dollars per month, like for your business, if you choose to apply it. If you don't apply it, then you're going to waste your time, and I'd rather you not listen to this episode, okay? So what I'm going to be covering are three things, I would say problems, that I've come across that a lot of coaches are having when they are starting or when they are scaling their business, okay? And you gotta bear with me on this, because each problem is going to take me a little bit of time to go over. So problem number one that I see this all over Instagram, I see this all over Facebook, and here's where I'm going with this. So one of the things I see from coaches who are big on Instagram, I'm talking like they have 10 to 20,000 followers. These are people who've reached out to me recently, and they're like, Ben, how are you getting new clients in your program? And these are the same people who are posting every single day to Instagram. They have amazing videos, right? But here's what they do. They are taking videos at their sessions. They have great editing skills, so they're going home, they're editing their videos, they're spending time, they're wanting to have their brand set up online, which I think is cool, right? But, and you guys have heard me talk about building a brand, especially online, right? But when it comes to your day, and this is the way I look at it, if you are spending your time doing things that are not actually building your business, and these are people who they're getting like probably 100,000 views a week on things, right? These aren't small timer people that have 5 likes. Like, these are people that are big. All right, I'm not going to disclose their names, but these are people who are, I would say, at the top of private soccer training, from what it looks like online, right? And they want to know how to get more clients. And I'm very blunt with people. Like, I've said it since day one, having videos that show your training is good, but that's not going to build your business, right? And let's think about this for a second. Even if you have great videos, the players of the kids that you're training, they'll see those videos. Other kids on the other side of the world could see your videos. But is that your audience? Are those people in your town? Like, who are the people that are going to buy your training? And it's the parents. It's not the kids. Kids can like your videos all day long. They can comment. They can tell you how good you are, tell you how cool your videos are. That is great. That's going to make you feel good, but that's not going to make you money, right? That's not going to build your business. And I don't care who is out there that's saying that will. I've yet to see anybody, right, who's gone from a Instagram video to a sales page. And if you know what I'm talking about, I do this with what I do with Soccer Entrepreneur, or with Build My Sports Biz. Like, when I don't very big Instagram audience. I have like 300 people right now, like as I'm recording this podcast, who follow my page. I probably get roughly 100 of those people to see what I'm doing with my stories every day. Roughly out of that, I'll get maybe, I'd say 10% of those people every week to get on a phone call, which is absolutely amazing for me, right? I'm taking people, getting them into a phone conversation. And if I was like broadcasting any of my training online, as far as me at my sessions, me showing training with the kids that I'm, coaching, I would do the same thing. Like, and you can go on Instagram, you'll never find one single video of me training any kid. Like, you might see me take a couple pictures and stuff like that with kids, but I don't care about that. That had never built my business, and these are a lot of these coaches who believe that. They're just seeing what the big dogs are doing, and they think, oh, well, that's what they're doing, so I'm going to do that. That's going to help me grow my business. And I'll tell you, that is bullcrap. These big dogs that you think of are reaching out to me right now, wondering how they can build their business, because they're not seeing results with that strategy of creating videos. And here's the thing, creating videos takes time. Creating videos takes a lot of energy. And the thing that I look at when I'm looking to help anybody build their business is like, what are you doing with your time? Are you going home after a session and talking to more parents, or are you going to create your videos? Like, what is the thing that's going to give you an immediate return? Is it going to be spending 4 hours on your video, or is it going to be spending 4 hours calling parents, or spending 4 hours creating marketing messages to send in emails to parents? Like, what is going to be better for your time? And I don't even have to answer that for you, but I'm here to tell you there's a myth out there of these big trainers that you see online, that like, just because they're training pros, or just because they have this social proof of having a lot of people in their program, that does not mean they're successful. And most people get caught up with comparing themselves to those coaches, and then they'll always feel crappy because they'll be like, oh, well, I don't have that equipment, or I don't have that field, or I don't have this many players, or I don't have this pro in my program. But they do. Like, they're probably making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. They're not. I'm telling you right now, they're not. Like, if they were, guess what? They wouldn't be reaching out to me. I can guarantee you that. If they were, they would be starting their own consulting programs to help other coaches. They're not, right? And I'm here to cut through all the crap that you see online. And here's what I want you to do instead, right? This is number one. Instead of spending your time doing that, I want you to understand how valuable is your time. Is your time worth more than $10 an hour? If it is, I want you to go pay somebody to film all your sessions and let them spend all of the time that they have to do that while you go build your business. If creating videos is that big of a deal to you, and you know that that's something that you need to be doing, great. But it shouldn't be you setting up the camera. It shouldn't be you editing the videos. Like, when you take 1 second of time away from actually building your business, you're going to be distracted. And guess what? These coaches are doing this every day. They want to come out with the coolest videos. And, that's cool. Like, people can do that. I'm going to be over here building my business like an old school guy. I'm going to be on the phone with parents. I'm going to do the things that work. The things that are working for all of my clients in our mastermind, right? And a lot of these coaches who I've been helping recently, they haven't even posted once to social media. Like, that doesn't even matter to them right now, because they have the mindset of doing what everybody else is doing. I teach the mindset of not doing that at all, right? Now, that is number one. If you're facing that problem, if you're trying to be in comparison mode and you're trying to create videos all the time, hire somebody else to do it. Pay them $10 an hour. And I can guarantee you they're probably going to be better than you, unless you're some expert filmmaker. But if you are some expert filmmaker, you probably want to rethink how you're spending your time. Why? If I was an expert filmmaker, I would just go film other people and charge every month for that, rather than training kids and doing that and trying to build a business all at once. So you got to be very smart with your time. That is number one. Number two, I see the same thing with coaches that are considering creating a website. Like they're figuring out, okay, well, do I need to use Wix? Do I need to use Squarespace? Do I need to use Vistaprint? I tell everybody the same thing. Go use Kajabi. It's the same system I use. It will run all of your payments. It will run all of your websites. It will run every landing page, every promotional. Like, it can do things that other systems out there can't do. And coaches are facing the dilemma of making a decision. If you guys listened to my last podcast, I actually ripped into how to make a decision faster, why people are slow to do that, and how that's going to really destroy your business if you're not able to make decisions, right? But if I was like, just seeing all the questions I see now, like, what are the best tools? What are the best yada yada? That stuff, I mean, it's important, but it really doesn't matter. Like, if you go to my website right now, which many people from this podcast have ripped off, by the way, and I don't care. You go to my site, naberssocceracademy.com. I've seen like at least 50 people who've done this. And how do I know this? Because I research every single city now, every single town, every single day with what people are doing in private training. I've seen so many people who've already ripped off my website. It's hilarious. And guess what? You know why people are doing that? Because it freaking works. That's why, right? But if you go to my site, you'll see how simple it is. I don't have all this crazy crap that people think that they need. I don't have this amazing intro video, this amazing site. I have something very simple. And like this week alone, I had 6 parents from my city who reached out to me from my contact us page. 3 of those people already signed 1-year commitments. That was worth, that's in my business per month, that is worth $1,500 a month just from having that website set up the way it is. And that's for the next 12 months, right? So you do the math there, 1,500 times 12, like that is automatic income that's coming into my business because I have a simple marketing message, a simple website set up that parents can find. And I've talked about in the last episode, if you are not able to make a decision on what software you need, like, I'll tell you what to do. Just go to my site, buildmysportsbiz.com. I'll show you Kajabi. That is the system I use. And I'm telling you, that is a fail-proof system that will work for anybody. It doesn't matter if you're a genius online or not, right? But I don't want that to be something that holds you back from starting or scaling your business is having a good website. Just literally go use what I use. And I'm trying to make this as easy as possible. And it does not matter what sport you're in. Like, that is going to work across any sport. I've seen some basketball trainers use that recently. I've seen some baseball coaches who've come across what we do use that recently. Tons of soccer coaches have ripped that off. Like, a lot of people have copied and pasted my site. Like, I don't care. I'm not going to be here to hide any information. That's why I create these podcasts. That's why I want to help you clarify and cut through these problems. Now, the last problem that I've seen that coaches have, like, this really just comes down to, I'm going to say, the attention syndrome, right? And again, you're going to laugh. Some of these big gurus who you think are online that have been reaching out to me, they're out there talking about how they're grinding away at the field. They're showing all this stuff online with their business, their so-called business, and they are showing this message that, oh man, you got to work hard. Look at me, I'm doing this 8 hours a day, blah blah blah. Very cool, right? I applaud anyone who wants to stay at the field 8 hours a day. Like, I used to do that, and it sucks. Like, if you want to stay at the field 8 hours a day, 5 days in a row, you're working 40 hours a week. Guess what? It's going to be hard to run your business that way, right? And these guys who show, like, oh, look at this gear, look at this, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's all talk. And this is a problem. And it's the same with kids. Like, posted this thing on my Facebook about how kids will, like, when I go train kids in my program, I'll see other kids across the field. They're taking free kicks for 4 hours trying to get the coolest Instagram video so people can like it. Like, look, I don't care if people like your business or not. Like, if you're constantly just posting for attention, again, that's not going to build your business. And if you're working 40 hours a week at the field, guess what? Your business is not set up correctly. And if you need help with that, go read my book, the Startup Sports Academy book. Like, that is going to clarify a lot of, like, the stuff that I'm talking about right now, but it's going to show you how to build your business on a foundation rather than, like, do what everybody else is doing. And, like, if you think about you spending time on social media, it should all be for one purpose. It's to build your confidence, number one, right? But to get customers, number two. Like, you on video every single day, like, that's going to help your confidence for sure. I teach all the coaches who are in my mastermind to do that. Go on Facebook, create these short videos. Don't do this thing on Instagram that everybody else is doing, right? But if you think about you spending time promoting what you're doing, like, if your message is not very, I would just say, you know, because I see these gurus that you see online, and I see them post this stuff that it's designed to get views and likes. And remember, views and likes don't equate to money. How do I know that? Go to my YouTube channel. All right, I'll tell you, like, I paid for an ad, has 650,000 views right now on YouTube. That ad that we ran probably generated like $300 of total income, and I spent around $800, so I lost $500. And yeah, it's not the best ad in the world, but you can think about how many views that is. And like that's on Instagram. That was targeted too to parents, right? So if you think about that, you know, that is not very good, and the ad could be better for sure, right? But most people who are on Instagram is posting stuff, they're not doing an ad. Like, so their stuff's going to be seen by random people left and right. And what I want you to think about is, when the next time you post something, you need to have an intention behind what you're doing. If you're just posting something, right, just because other people are doing it, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. So you need to really understand how you're spending your time. So I want to recap here for 2 seconds. Number one, we need to understand what we talked about at the beginning. If you are posting a lot of videos, posting a lot of content, that's cool, that's great. If you're spending a ton of your own personal time posting that, guess what? You're not building your business. And I don't care what you say, I don't care how good your videos are. You could find somebody, you could find a college intern to come out to film your sessions, and they can handle all of your work. They could do it for $10 an hour. Like, you could literally have them work, let's see here, 40 hours throughout the month, and you could pay them $400. Like, or you could spend 40 hours and that's going to equate to nothing, and you could spend all of that time that they are spending building your business, talking to parents, like getting your name out there. Don't just rely on these Instagram videos, right? Number two, we talked about the website. Like, don't be indecisive on what to use. I'm showing you what to use. I'm showing you what works perfectly for me. I have 5 websites right now that are on Kajabi, and I don't need to plug it anymore. Like, people have sent me messages after this podcast. Why do you keep talking about that? Well, they're a sponsor, number one. Number two, I use it and it does really well for me. And I want you to use it too, because it's easy, it's simple, it will run your entire business for you, and that's all I can say about that, right? And number three, if you get caught up with what other people are doing, you're going to get this guru syndrome. I call it the guru syndrome. And I even get, like, I'll tell you, I get caught up with that stuff too. I'm on tons of marketing email lists. I used to watch a ton of YouTube videos of people who I looked at as like gurus or mentors. And recently I was like, you know what? Like, what the heck am I doing? Why am I spending any time doing this when I can just go build what I'm doing? Like, I know what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm teaching other people what they need to be doing. I need to cut off all the distraction, right? And I've did that probably a year ago. And that really clarified my time. And it showed me like how I could spend my time and how it could be more valuable helping other people, whether it be clients with their business or whether it be players who I train in my program, right? But if you are like thinking that, oh, just because there's certain people online who have hundreds and thousands of followers, like you need to be doing that. No, like I'm running my private soccer training business right now, like with zero social media right now. Zero, absolute zilch. The only thing I'm doing is sending emails. That's it. And I'm doing that, and I'm calling parents. And of course, I've built a system around that, a marketing system, but it's not something that's impossible to learn, right? It's very easy to learn. And I feel like if you are a coach who is struggling right now with one of those three things that I just talked about, I want you to reach out to me. Like, you guys have heard me. I've been a lot more blunt recently on this podcast. And I don't want you guys to think I'm mad or anything like that, but I just see the same sort of questions all the time. And I want to use this platform to really expose the truth of how to run a business. And that's really my whole purpose. I'm not here to make a funny podcast or to joke around. Like, I'm here to cut through all the crap that people go through, that I've been through, and show you the real side of like how this actually works. And of course, you're going to have to work hard. Like, you already know that. You're going to have to work hard. If you're an entrepreneur, you have to work your butt off every day, right? But I don't want you to get caught up with those three things that I just talked about. And I've covered briefly those three things in previous episodes, but I wanted to go deeper in today's, all right? So if you have any questions for me, here's how I'm doing this, right? A lot of you guys have recently sent me emails. I think that's cool. I like it when people reach out to me. I don't respond in emails anymore. What I do is I will take those questions and put them here on the podcast. So if you have questions and you want me to cover them here, great. I can do that. I'm not going to get to every question because right now I see tons that come in every week. But what I will say is if you want personalized help, I would rather get on the phone with you than you have to wait 6 months for me to answer your question on a podcast, right? So here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to my site. Just go to buildmysportsbiz.com. There is a big blue button on the homepage. You click on that. I have an application form. You fill that out. I can give you personalized one-on-one help with your business right now. So go ahead, go do that, right? Like I said, you can send me questions whenever you want. I'm not responding to anyone anymore. Like I'm not going to be spending my time doing that. I'd rather come on here, take a couple of the questions, address those, move on to the next episode, and talk to the coaches who are more serious. And if you're more serious about building your business, you have questions and you really want my help, then go to our site and you can take action from there. All right, guys. Thanks so much for listening. I will catch you guys on the next episode.